Okay, so this is part 2 of class constructors with data. We're able to actually pass in data or our own information to set these or assign these values to our attributes when we create these objects. So let me start by using our PHP tags, jump right into it, give it some space. I'll define my class, start with the keyword class, followed by our person class name, open and closing curly braces, and I'll just define our attributes like normal, first name, and I'm not going to assign any values to it for this lecture. So I'll do a last name, and I'll declare my actual class constructor. So again, we use the keyword function because that's all it is a special function when we create objects, new objects. Double underscore, so underscore underscore, followed by the name construct, a pair of parentheses, our open and curly braces. So this is the important part. We can add up as many pieces of values or information we want our constructor can take. For the first and last name, we just want to use 2 pieces of information when we create our new objects. So I'll just call our first variable or piece of information first name, and this time I'll use the first name without the underscore and just a capital letter N, separated by a comma, and I'll do a last name as well. It only makes sense because we only have two attributes that will belong to an object of this class, first name and last name. Again, we'll use our built-in keyword by PHP to let PHP know we're referencing the current object. So we use the this keyword followed by a arrow operator because we're going to be accessing the attributes of our object. So we just go first name, and we use an assignments operator, and we just use this variable name with the $sign. So I'm going to assign whatever first name we pass in to our new object created and assign it to our current attribute. And I'll just do the same thing with our last name as well, but I'll just use the attribute last name. And I'll just change this part as well, last name. After we're done with that, we can actually display our attribute value. So I'll just use the same thing with our echo keyword to display our information. I'll do that. And I'll just copy this line of code and just do last name here. Okay, so that's it for right now for our constructor with 2 pieces of information that we can use. After that, let's create our object, person underscore 01, and we're going to use the keyword new because we're creating a new object of the class named person, pair of parentheses, and let's go ahead and use 2 pieces of information. So I'll use my single quotes, a literal string. I'll say the first name is Victor, separated by a comma. And the second piece of information is the last name. So I'll just type in the last name, which is Davis. Once we do that, we can see what happens. Let me go to my browser, refresh my screen, and look what we have. Victor Davis. So let me actually put a space in between that to make it look a little cleaner. So I'll just add a space in between my echo statement. And this space just includes in between the first name and last name. So I'll go back to my browser, refresh it, Victor Davis. There we have it. Again, we've added 2 personal pieces of information when we created our object. So we can even add another object. I'll call it person underscore 02 and just call this Bobby Clark. Okay, so we do that. And let's see what happens here. Go back here, refresh our screen. Look what we have, Victor Davis and Bobby Clark. And of course, we can format the display with our echo statements to make it look a lot cleaner. But pretty much that's it, guys. This is how we declare a constructor with information that we can use when we first initiate or create our new objects.